to the park. I'll see you at the office. Ooh, that was a wet one. It stopped raining, which is nice, and it's not supposed to rain the rest of the day, which is kind of nice. It might rain later when I'm heading home. So I had my rain gear, but it did nothing. It did nothing for me to stay dry. My shirt is completely wet. I think my shorts are okay. Luckily, I have a change of clothes here at the office, but woo! When I went around the park. All right, I'm gonna go get some coffee and some breakfast and see what I have to do today and dry out all my clothes. I'll talk to you later. It looks like today is going to be a relatively slow work day. Gonna catch up on any little stragglers, but I don't think there's any new projects coming in, and I don't think there's going to be any chaos. So one of the things I'm going to work on is, you know, every social media has specific ways that it likes to have its content delivered, specific resolutions, specific, you know, aspect ratios, compression formats. You know, so when you're putting video on Facebook, it looks crappy if you put it on the same way you do it for YouTube. I'm not sure why, but there's obviously reasons. So I'm going to do some research on figuring out what all their native formats are, and I'm trying to develop pretty much like a lookup table that takes into consideration all the different aspect ratios for all the different social medias. Pretty much primarily for YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Instagram has many because you have the ability to not only be square anymore, so you can be horizontal or you can be vertical. You can be vertical in stories and stuff like that. So it's important to know these things and try to figure out how to design for these things. I think it's going to be very useful information for future projects, both for the studio and for Quantum and personally. So that's kind of it's a research day. All my clothes are pretty much dry. My shoes are still a little bit wet and my gloves are a little wet, but I think I'm gonna head out. It's still daylight time. I might go to the West Side Highway. But you know, this week really made me think about and put in perspective the hard work I've been doing for the last few months. You know, there's that old expression, you gotta strike while the iron is hot, or you make hay when the sun shines. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the last few months. While the work is here, you gotta do it, right? Sorry about that. Now that work has subsided, I have to focus in on developing the next phase, you know, all the little projects that I've been working on and build them up. You can't let this downtime get to you. You can't let it discourage you, you know. Maybe there'll never be another job, so that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop working. So I'm working on these vlogs, I'm working on Instagram. If you don't check me out on Instagram, Q_studios on Instagram. I've done some really cool stuff over the last few weeks. I've been posting and you know, just get everything in order so I'm prepared, and this is the time to set everything up so that I can keep going in the future. So it's a lovely, really beautiful Friday night. Went over to the West Side. I got 3 or 4 cameras going, including my iPhone. So we'll see how that goes. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Have a good night.